Welcome to the podcast,
Thank
Addi.
you, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're in the band Sólstafir, right?
Yes.
And you use that name in Icelandic when you're doing stuff
Yeah, it would
abroad.
be kind of stupid changing that. We've been in the band for 20 years now.
20, okay, I did not realize that.
Yeah, even more actually. So it's 20 plus years.
Okay.
And it's Sólstafir is just
Yeah?
you can have a Rammstein or Sigur Rós or even Metallica as a fake word.
Yeah? yeah. Who cares? But you are born in the Westfjords of Iceland.
Born in Reykjavik.
Born in
but,
Reykjavik?
Raised in Ísafjörður. Yeah.
Ah, okay, it's like
Oh,
that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't tell anyone. No,
Okay,
it's a secret.
I'll try not to.
Yeah.
How was it growing up there?
Like this, like the weather is outside now. It's a
Mhm.
storm outside. It was great. Of course, when you're a kid, you don't realize that it's that you're living in a small place, or it's your reality.
Uh-huh.
For me, it was natural to have 9 months a year total fucking darkness and 2 meters of snow and some weird stuff. And I remember when I moved to Reykjavik in 1987, 10 years old. The weirdest thing was that kids would go to the garden with a shovel to make a hole to make snow houses.
Mm-hmm.
In Ísafjörður, you would just open up the door, it'd be 2-3 meters of snow in the yard. So, it was great.
Yeah, I can imagine. I have a short-lived period in Ísafjörður myself.
What are you doing there?
I was trying something like getting out of trouble by moving to a new place.
Heard about this method.
Yes, very good method.
How
I
did
personally had been using a lot of drugs for a long time, and we decided to move. We opened up the phone book, put our finger down, okay, Ísafjörður it is.
Okay.
It was in the middle of winter.
Could be worse.
It was not a solid plan.
Oh yeah.
Going down in total darkness. It was not a happy moment.
No, I can understand that, yeah.
But since then, I've been there a couple of times and seen it for its natural beauty now.
It's very well. My grandmother died, she was sort of the heart of the family there. She died like 10 years ago, so I go there less and less now. We moved there, of course, many years ago. But when I go there, either landing, the airport is kind of fucked up. It's I recommend for the viewers to go to YouTube and type in landing at Ísafjörður.
Oh yes,
It's good stuff.
it's a thing.
So when you land there, I have I can feel it. The nerves just. I love this place. Same with when you're driving and you pass the last fjord, past the mountain, you see the whole thing. It's weird being there because every house and street have a recollection from childhood. This here. So it's a very special place to me.
It's funny how that works because I'm from Viki Mýrdal, or the countryside there.
Yeah.
And
870.
yep, correct. That's the postal code there. Always when you drive there, you have roots somehow. You kind of feel more you, if you know what I mean. Amplified. And yeah, then you moved to Reykjavik, and
Yeah, it depends. I mean,
how was the switch from moving to, because Ísafjörður is a tiny place.
it was weird. I was a little bit behind in school.
Yeah?
I remember that. Well, I was never into sports, so the new kid on the block, moving to Reykjavik, was like, oh, okay, you're in the football team. I'm like, I'm really suck at football. Of course, you're too shy to tell anyone that, so
Yeah.
it took like a few days for everybody to find out that you actually suck at football.
Yeah. Do not pass the ball to that guy.
But only a few years later, I discovered heavy metal.
Mm-hmm.
So being a weird kid in school, discovering, late 80s, thrash metal, death metal, you could,
Which bands?
there's like Creator and Death and Slayer and all these
Good
bands,
stuff.
the good stuff, early death metal and Morbid Angel, and so into tape trading, you know, it'd be, oh, you got this album. Can I record it? And you can dubbing, you know, with drawing the Death logo with pencils. I still have these
really?
cassettes. Yeah,
Cool.
just cassettes. And then you'll be, you know, recording Spiritual Healing by Death, and oh, there's still like 7 minutes left. You can take this song here. I still have these cassettes. It's weird.
Have you played them recently?
No, I don't have a cassette player.
Ah, you need an old car, man.
Well, I did have the last car I had before the one I have now. I had a cassette player, so I did actually have old cassettes with mixtapes. It's brilliant.
These were good times.
So you know, it's you sort of fairly quickly you spot out the other geeks, and you become best friends, and you form a band, and nothing has changed since then. I'm still in a metal band with my friends. So since 1989, nothing has changed.
Okay, that may mean you kind of found your path.
Yeah. I'm not sure my mom would agree with that, but you know, I get your point.
Yeah. How does this work? Is this your only job, being in Sólstafir, or do you do?
No, I mean we all have some. I've been doing a lot of work, of course, the last 20 years with the band. I mean, now we play more and more abroad. We have jobs. I don't have a steady job, but I do sound engineering and other stuff that I've been doing. Our drummer is Forrester Hallgrímur.
Yeah.
He chops down trees. And Svavar works with people with special needs, and so we all have jobs on the side.
Yeah.
You know.
But that fascinated me a little, because I kind of knew about you guys and knew some songs, like of course Fjara, which is probably your biggest one, right?
It's like our Nothing Else Matters, yeah.
Yeah. Do you hate it now?
No, it's fine. It's a cool song.
Oh, it's a very cool song.
It could be a lot worse song. Yeah.
Yeah. And what I kind of found out by Googling and stuff, that you're pretty big abroad.
Well,
would that be a fair assumption?
To some people, yeah. To some, you know.
This is a special scene, of course. This is
not.
Yeah,
but you know, it's to me, being a successful band, it's a different scale than some other people sort of see it.
Yeah.
Sure, we're successful on a certain level. We can do headline tours and people show up.
Okay.
And we get paid for it when you go touring. That's a success in a way.
I would see it the same way.
Yeah, it didn't come overnight. I mean, we've been to Romania like 8 times, playing for a beer and a pizza almost in the past.
Yeah.
So you're planting seeds through the years, you know, for a long time. So yeah, you know, we do the festivals, and it's very easy to forget it. I mean, when you're touring Japan with one of your favorite bands, you sort of gotta pinch yourself. I'm actually in Japan with one of my favorite bands. Like bands that you always looked to as a kid. Now you're doing the same thing. You're touring Australia, you're in LA, you're in Toronto, or you're in Stockholm. So it becomes some sort of reality being on the road, but you can sort of forget about that. It's actually maybe a little bit of success, but
yeah, it's, if I get it right, it's doing what you love to do.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
and definitely. To me, that is a successful person, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, and it's the recent years I've taken it way less for granted, because I'm way much more appreciative of doing this. I mean, people show up and seeing maybe some boys and girls crying in the front row, and they tell you stories about how they experience this music. It's a very special thing.
It is, definitely. Yeah. And you have a very unique sound. and you are a unique singer, and I always love that, if you know what I mean, because a lot of music today is like produced to perfection. Everything is, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
A lot of notes, a lot going on, and listening to you guys, it's not that. You can hear everything that's going on. It's not crowded, if you know what I mean. That's my experience.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah?
I don't know what to say. I guess we are too much of a rock and roll band to be too polished.
Mm-hmm.
We are a metal band and we are a rock band, but we're not your ordinary rock band, we're not your ordinary metal band. We've embraced all sorts of weird ideas or other kinds of music styles, and we've sort of never been having the best guitar player, the best singer. We've never been about that, you know. It's only a few years ago that I could be comfortable calling myself a singer, because I remember in 2007, well, it's 13 years now. Feels like 4 years ago.
Yeah, time fucking flies.
That was the first time I sort of started, I would dare to sing clean.
Yeah.
Because I was too shy, I had no self-confidence to sing clean, because prior to that it was just like being like Tom Araya or Hetfield or some death metal stuff or black metal. So I always find myself to be just recently starting to sing. So I'm not really a singer. I can't sing other people's music. I can only sing the music that we write.
I think that's a cool thing. It's a very cool thing, because
Maybe it is.
playing a guitar or behind drums or behind an instrument is such a fucking different thing than singing in a mic. That's what I feel, because I'm not dared to venture there, but I feel inside of me I want to go there a little bit, and this is a lot bigger step than just playing guitar.
But it's different. If it's different when you write the song yourself, and you control what you're gonna sing. Because me standing on stage, okay, I'm gonna play a Battery by Metallica. Just gonna sing in Hetfield's pose. I can't do that.
No.
That's really difficult stuff. But when you sort of control what you're playing, and your mind tells you, you can actually sing this while doing this, because you're in control of the creation. So I would be the worst guy in the world being in a cover band. I can't do that, man. I can hardly play Wild Thing. So.
Yeah. I totally get that. And something that I've been trying to do, because I'm not a good guitar player.
Me neither.
And I take that as a plus.
I agree. I'm not a good guitar player, but I can write stuff on a guitar. So I know a lot of great guitar players. They're great guitar players, but they don't write. They don't write the stuff that I usually think, I wish I wrote that.
Yeah.
Because
that's a cool one.
Touring with bands, or seeing your friends play live, I often get the feeling, damn, I wish I wrote that. This is amazing.
It's funny how that works.
And usually it's not a guy that's Yngwie Malmsteen or Joe Satriani.
Yeah, not the most technical guy in the world, but just something pure comes out.
It's more like Kurt Cobain-ish stuff.
Yeah?
It's simple songs, few chords, a lot of character in it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I really connect to that. That's what I'm trying to do.
Oh.
And I just recently, because I fell into a trap, I got hooked on drugs and spent a lot of years there. And after that, I kind of had to go to work.
Oh.
And then I got it into my mind, I have to be successful at this. I have to make a lot of money, which is a fucking trap. There's nothing inside of that. It's
not really.
kind of empty. And I always wanted to do something with the guitar. I've been fiddling with my guitar since I was 12 or something.
Yeah.
And I just recently found the freedom to just, why am I not doing it? And I don't care what comes from it, but for me it's something really deep and profound just to be doing it.
It doesn't really matter what you can do, it's more like what you're doing, if you do it.
Yeah, exactly.
We've always been in like a weirdo band. I mean, we signed this deal with this label once, and the first song on the first album we did for them, the first song was 19 minutes long, and they were from Finland, and so we thought they were weird because Finnish people are weird. We love them, but they're weird. And they thought we were the weirdos. Who delivers I don't have a Scottish accent, but they thought it was really weird that we would deliver an album with 19 minutes long, and it's like four riffs in the song.
Yeah.
And then next album we did an opener with 10-minute songs. 10-minute instrumental song as the opener. The label complained about that. That was weird. Then we did another weird stuff. It's just, it's like you're not in control. It's just, let's just do something will come out of it. We did this song called Fjara. We were like, damn, they're gonna kill us. The whole metal community is gonna abandon us if we do this. Then we just say, we don't care really. It's a great song. Mm-hmm. We've never thought about this stuff. Why would we think about it now? We put it out, don't think about it. It becomes our biggest song. Mm-hmm. And it's always like that, we laugh about that. Let's do a banjo song. No one else could play banjo. We even got a friend of ours to play it because we'd never touched the banjo before. It becomes the hit song of the album. So sort of not too practiced ideas. Mm-hmm. It's even better if they're stupid ideas. Mm-hmm. Best ideas.
It's just something real.
Yeah.
I think there's a craving for that now. Yeah. Just real things. Not something super polished, super technical, super busy, overproduced. I think people are getting away from that.
I mean, I don't really. I mean, if I listen to Neil Young, that's my kind of guy. I mean, it's just all the mistakes are on the tape. He hardly probably masters the albums. It's just single takes. He can be a little bit out of pitch if he wants. It's Neil Young,
Yeah,
all my friends are buying camper profiling amps.
Yeah.
Neil Young would never use this stuff, so I'm not going to use it.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. And it's kind of the same thing with this podcast thing. It's really catching on, and I think it's the realness of it. Oh. It's just a one take, like we're talking together for the first time.
You mean we're not going to edit this shit?
We're not going to edit this shit.
Fuck.
So if you say a story that you don't want to go out, you're just fucked.
Okay.
Do you want to rethink this?
No, it's getting too difficult now. It's fine. But I agree. It's more real.
Yeah. I think there's a craving for that. And what are you doing now in the band? Are you still working?
Yeah. I mean, we haven't really taken a break for a long time. I think when we were doing a few years ago, we did like 200 shows per year. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a little bit. Well, we are more quiet now.
Okay.
We don't party anymore, so life is less hard or difficult. Mm-hmm. It's but we toured in December. It's January now. We toured in December, anniversary tour for our Cult album.
Okay.
Cult came out 10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, this was the album I was telling you about the first time I was singing clean on. So we did that in December, but for the last 4 months we've been writing a new album.
Okay.
I was doing like an hour ago. We are in our own studio, writing and recording. We're gonna record it in February, next month, late February.
Okay.
So and it's gonna be out end of the summer. according to plan.
Okay, and you're doing this all by yourselves now? Or
No,
do you have a label, or how
what?
Do you have a label that
Yeah,
you
we've had, we've always been a label band.
Okay.
It's weird. Even, I mean, we formed the band in 1995.
Okay.
It's a long time ago. And we were in the underground, sort of metal underground, and we got a record contract on the underground label back in 1996. And then a few years later, we had a deal with a German company that we did one album for. Then around 2004-05, we signed with Spine Farm from Finland. We did 2 albums for them. And now we've done 3-4 albums for Season of Mist, which we have from France.
Okay.
So we were sort of old school in those terms. We've always just been working with labels.
Yeah, I have no idea how none of this works. So
No, it's just it's sort of because, you know, we were that old that you didn't really stand a chance in your sort of childhood mentality when you're younger. You didn't stand a chance unless you had a label.
that's just how things were. Just
Yeah,
a
but
couple of decades ago.
if we would be 20 today, 20 years old today, you can do it yourself, you know, but being in your early 40s, people have jobs and kids and families and wives and dogs and apartments and loans. We're not 4 guys doing everything ourselves,
It's also
chopping up CDs or pressing vinyl or...
Yeah.
So we use the record label as an employee.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they get money, of course,
Yeah.
and they're doing a lot of work for us.
That's kind of how I see it, because this doing yourself thing, it's a lot of fucking work.
Yeah, I mean, they do promotions. It's a lot of network. They do, you know, lots of other stuff that's really
And
boring to
if
talk
you're kind of in it to do the music, you're all of a sudden doing a lot of other things.
Yeah, I mean, even today, I mean, a band cannot be on the road or just exist unless you're on Instagram and Facebook. And that's a lot of, you know, people don't, well, Twitter is dead. Snapchat was only popular in Iceland, but it's dead. People don't use web pages anymore. All bands have Instagram and Facebook. Even Facebook is, of course, a little bit out in the cold. So that it evolves around that.
Okay.
And, you know, you have to advertise and keep up and make it interesting. And it's not really, you know, not really rock and roll to be hanging on Instagram the whole time. But it is what it is. I mean, 20 years ago, we would be having flyers, sending in envelopes to the post office and get tape trading.
Yeah.
I had a P.O. box, sending flyers and getting cassettes. That's just 25 years later. You're always on fucking Instagram. Time changes, man.
Yeah. Was this an effort to get into doing that stuff?
Just wasn't really an effort. It's just more of an interest. I mean,
okay.
You would. How do you start this? There was some underground releases that you could send $5 to this address, and you would get something, and you would get flyers. And Finnish death metal band, Norwegian black metal band, or brutal death metal from Colombia. I want to hear this, and you would send $6 to Colombia, and you would get lots of flyers about Brazilian black metal bands.
Okay.
Sort of, you'd get all that. It was very cool.
Yeah.
It's like virtual internet. It's just not one click away. You have to write stuff with pencils and go to the post office. Like the analog internet.
Yeah. But now, of course, it means also that fans have access to you in a more kind of...
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, it was really cool if, you know, if some guy knew about a band. No one had heard about it. He had the demo.
Yeah.
And there were only like 100 demos in the universe. And this motherfucker had one. He was the coolest guy in town. That's not going to happen today.
No, it's funny how that works, man.
Yeah,
everything's just there.
You know, you would buy magazines, so sort of photocopied magazine, photocopied in Leipzig, and 50 copies made, and you would get one of them. It would be interviews with Immortal or Rotting Christ or some guy. You would actually be reading it. It's very exciting. Getting that, oh my God, that's not the same. It's the same excitement if you go to a record store and you got, let's say $1,000 in your pocket or whatever, and you can spend $1,000 in a record store. That's not the same as ordering online.
No.
Being alone in your bed. You get this. It's not the same.
No. It's also funny how the digital stuff, it's different than having an actual thing.
Of course. It's very different.
And that's why I love the records are coming back. I have a lot of records at home, and just when you have everything on your phone, you kind of use nothing.
It's if you have you can listen to Spotify. You're in the gym. Say, okay, what am I going to listen to now? I'm like, It's like the same as I always go. You're gonna watch a movie with a girlfriend, and you go online on the whatever you call it, outside of Iceland. A video, by demand or whatever, and it takes like 20 minutes to find the damn movie.
Yeah, minimum.
minimum. Once 8 trailers or whatever, it's like, well, the pizza's cold, I'm done eating. Just do it later.
Yeah.
That's boring.
Yeah.
I went to the rental. I got this movie here. We're gonna watch this.
Yep. No options.
Same with you're in the gym, and because in these days I only listen to full albums in the gym. Going on Spotify is like, what am I gonna listen to? Instead of just, I bought this last week and I put this on.
Yeah.
Just do it.
It's funny how that works. Because
if you can look at the whole alphabet of your CDs or your vinyls, it's different.
Yeah, it's very different.
Yeah.
It's an actual thing. And how does this work financially when you're a band now? Are you starting to sell more records, or how do you?
More? No, you sell less.
No, yeah, but I'm talking about definitely when what was it called? Napster and all that shit came. No. Record just or CDs just fell.
It's still just.
Is it still there?
Yeah. It's
Is it just a touring thing that kind of?
Yeah, you can tour and sell shirts, but albums, it's dead. It's getting more dead.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's not.
No. The weird thing is now, of course, there's a generation of people already out there that music is free.
Yeah.
Because I remember the first albums that I bought, buying them was amazing.
Yeah.
But of course, then again, the irony is, of course, I would copy on cassette. You would copy mine, and so we would copy. But having music for free, it's kind of weird, it's, you spend this money and recording it, and then it's just for free.
Yeah.
I guess we come from the era then when it wasn't like that, and I would love being able to just living on record sales. That would be a dream. But it's not happening today. I mean, no one lives on record sales. You gotta go and work for it. But touring, and people like buying, for example, CDs. It's weird. No one buys CDs today.
Nobody has a CD player.
Yeah, exactly. even new cars don't have a CD player. No. But when you're touring, people buy CDs just to have it or sign it. It's almost like a CD is a business card.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. But we still, now we're doing a new album this year. It's going to be pressed on CD.
Okay.
People find it weird. Are you still pressing CDs? But sort of the comeback of vinyl is just a single number percentage.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's nothing how what it was, or
no,
it never will be.
No, probably
it's then again, it's the world is rolls around Spotify.
Yeah.
Spotify is a weird thing, I can tell you. I went to a meeting at Spotify headquarters in New York.
Okay.
We were touring in New York, and through some other people, with some other people, we were offered to Spotify headquarters. And as I told someone there, I mean, as a user, I love it. I listen to it all the time. As an artist, not so much.
Uh-huh.
But the weirdest thing was that going to Spotify headquarters in New York, we go down to Lower Manhattan, next to Peace Tower.
Mm-hmm.
Peace Tower, the World Trade Center was there.
Yeah, yeah.
Just by the memorial. I think it's like World Trade Center building number 3 or something. Anyway, we go to floor 75. It's a tall fucking building.
Uh-huh.
We go to number 75, floor number 75. Even the elevator was from the future. They tell us they have the 15 top floors in the building.
Fuck.
Yeah, 15 top floors Spotify owns.
Shit.
And this is the most expensive real estate
Probably in the
property
world.
in the world. And I was thinking, I wonder how the offices of Icelandic Records are today. Or any other old giant Def Jam or something. It's mostly closed or in a basement somewhere.
Uh-huh.
So much money.
And so little to the artists.
Well,
Or
then again, every time you talk about this, it's, why are you whining about this? It is what it is, and no one is gonna change it. It's like, the internet companies or Spotify, they are getting the money for it, not the artists, not the bands.
Yeah, that's kind of where I see it as a little bit of a wrong thing.
Of course it is wrong.
But because if you're an artist and you're doing stuff that people want to have, and you have a market, it's kind of stupid not to be able to live off that.
Yeah, I mean, it's unless you're Metallica, it's very hard to living on being in a band.
Mm-hmm.
And, but it's you can say something against music being free without losing the thing of being grateful. I'm totally grateful. I know I often see it.
Yeah.
I'm here with the guys. Sometimes we play tents with 15,000 people in it, and it's like, holy shit! It's one of a kind feeling. Or people are suicide survivors, or people surviving cancer. They come up to us and say, what it means to them. Music. It's just you keep being grateful, and it's just one of a kind thing. Hugging, crying, grown-up men because they love our music. It's like, but that doesn't mean that you can't be against this. What we're talking about.
Yeah. It's a different thing.
Yeah, but it's because no one likes people. No one likes negativity, and no one likes to hear people whine.
No, of course not. Of course not.
No.
But I think I'm not sure if something is going to change or if it's just going to be like this forever.
It's not going to change.
No.
The toothpaste ain't going back into the tube. No.
Oh, no, maybe not.
It's kind of weird.
But it's definitely the way I see it. It's because I have followed the money dream and there's nothing in it.
It doesn't make you happy.
No.
You can get a little bit of comfort.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not saying you don't need money. That's not what I'm saying.
Rich people own Ferraris. They still hang themselves.
Yeah, definitely. And it's more about, I think, what I'm finding out about myself these years is the more things I do because I love doing them, the happier I get.
Yeah.
And the less time I think about getting rich, the happier I get.
Yeah.
And it's funny how that works.
I agree. I mean, life, of course, goes up and down.
Yeah.
People die, kids get born, people do all sort of activities. I mean, you look at differently at sort of mental health today.
Mm-hmm.
When you have friends who have given up, and you don't take it for granted that life is good.
Yeah.
Every time I sort of, how can I explain it? Sometimes when I'm driving with people, and I'm like, shit, take a look at that, man, it's amazing. People are like, what? What is it? Check out, man, the weather in the mountain. It's amazing. They're like, what? Where is it? Because it's just, I don't know, it's hard to explain. I think you understand.
I understand where you're going. I understand where you're going. And you wrote a song about a friend who committed suicide.
Yeah, Kitty.
Okay. Was he a part of the band or?
No, Kitty was a mutual friend of ours.
Yeah.
Svavar had known him for many years, our bass player. And I knew him as well. We had been hanging together a lot. I think he died 2005. I think it was around Christmas. I think he was the first person that I knew that I sort of gave up.
Mm-hmm.
Which was weird because I didn't really know about this sort of illness back then. I wasn't aware of it. No one had killed themselves that I knew. I didn't realize that anyone had even been suicidal. This darkness, because he was this guy, this sort of guys like me and you playing in a band and hanging out at the bar, and he was good with the ladies and the most beautiful smile ever. He was always happy and But then just one day Svavar called me, and it's weird. You can sense in the tone, oh fuck, something is wrong.
Yeah, definitely. You know that fucking
yeah,
tone.
that's weird. And he told me that Kitty had given up between Christmas and New Year. And it's had a few since that.
Yeah, I listened to that song and it was touching, and the lyrics are kind of spot on, if you know what I mean. And it was moving because living the life I've lived, I've said goodbye to a shitload of friends who had given up, and you kind of have a newfound respect of life when you get through that shit. Of course. You see things with different eyes. Yeah, I mean, then you have friends today who are that just keep on saying that they're depressed, but they're not willing to do anything about it. It's weird. I think it's also it's just a problem with society. It's a problem with how we live. Yeah. There's doing something you hate to get money to buy things you don't need. I mean, but I can relate to it. I mean, of course. Last year I bought like lots of guitars. Yeah. And it's like, I remember 2 guitars ago, I was like, that's it. I have 4 Gibsons, 3. I don't need another guitar. A month later, I'm like, oh shit, I need this one. It's like an illness. It's an illness, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. I've been trying. But now I'm done. Now I'm not going to buy more guitars. Cold turkey. Until you see the next one. It's weird, man. It's definitely weird. I've been trying to. I have fallen into that trap also, of course, just collecting stuff, and just the last year I've been trying to do less, and I think it's a getting old kind of thing or something. But while on the subject, I mean, now we've been touring America quite the last few years, and we always stop at Walmart.
Because you're driving, there's a long distances in America, and park at the parking lot in Walmart, and now we're gonna go half an hour. We can, restock the bus, drive buy food and whatever. You walk into Walmart or Target, it's pretty much the same, and it just screams at you, buy shit, buy shit. It's a gigantic big store full of crap. Usually, you fall off the wagon and come out with $400 later, stuff you don't need. So this last tour I was doing, I thought, probably gonna hit Walmart like 20 times this tour. I'm not gonna buy anything. I don't need anything. I don't need socks. I don't need a blanket. I don't need shoes. I don't need nothing of this I love USA shirts. I don't need it. But it's just this fixing thing. Buy stuff. You're gonna feel a lot better if you buy shit. Just buy anything. Anything.
Instant gratification.
Yeah, and it's like, instead of coming out, yes! I didn't buy anything. It's weird. They're like, I'm kind of hungry. It's kind of weird, Maybe I should just, those shoes are quite cheap. It's like alcoholism. I did poop myself yesterday and I crashed the car and almost killed myself and I almost hit this kid. I think I could drink tomorrow.
Yeah, just a little less.
Just a little less. I'm gonna drink more milk. Yeah. It's the same.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same element.
It's weird.
Yeah. And this recent year, I've been doing something that I've been saying to others that I've been constantly doing is meditating. And this last year, I've kind of fallen into it.
It's good stuff.
And started to enjoy it. And I found the more I do that, the less I need stuff.
Of course. Why don't you teach kids meditation at the age of 12?
It's
in
a
school?
mystery. It should be there. Definitely.
It would be wonders for world peace. Someone was telling me this, the misconception of meditation today, it's similar to the misconception of the cigarettes were healthy in the 50s. Because, I smoke Camel, they're better than Winston. I mean, the people just, it's better, my doctor says it's better.
Yeah, he smokes Camel.
Yeah, imagine the misconception. It's just beyond words. That why don't we teach everybody meditation today?
In schools, it would be a fucking amazing thing.
It will have effects to the prison system, the whole healthcare system. People would kill themselves less.
But imagine that if we would teach young kids to meditate and also how to handle money. It's such an easy, practical thing to put in there, but you don't get any education in that.
But it's weird today, of course, with it's like I say, money and this kids today being on phones. I mean, it's such an addiction. Same with how to handle money. But it's going to be interesting to see how this generation that grows up with being glued to a phone from the age of 4. We didn't have.
Nope.
At the age of 4.
Go outside, play.
No, I'm talking. You take the phone from the kid. He's 4. Hell breaks loose. A 4-year-old kid.
Yeah.
He's not even 10 already. That's different. He can talk to you when he's 10. Then he turns 16. Now he can tell you to fuck off when he's So it's maybe we are the generation that's we are old now. It should be someone else. This should be, of course, changed in the school system.
I think it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. I think we're in times of a big change right now, and I think we're just so deep.
You really think it's going to change?
Oh, I think I more than think. I believe we're at a time where everything is changing.
Yeah.
Because for the first time since I've been born at least, kind of everybody is seeing through how the world works, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't.
Like my kid, who is 18 now, he has it nailed how politics works, how money works, how big corporations work.
No.
He sees it without a mask. We didn't have that when we were growing up.
Of course, you know, with information age, with the internet, it's easier. Yeah, of course.
And I think this will, not for our generation, but the generation that is coming, things are going to change drastically. I like to believe that.
I like to believe it as well, but I'm pretty sure they're going to vote Trump again. So.
Yeah, but maybe it's just a phase.
I hope so.
I really hope so too,
Yeah.
because when I'm talking to my kids, they think differently than I think.
Oh.
They're not, at least my kids, they're not hooked up on getting rich and having everything. They're kind of like my oldest kid, which is a weird one. He's just content when he has what he needs.
No.
Which is totally weird for me, because when I was his age, I wanted everything. And now, and more than the others had.
Yeah. I never had that. I think it's just it's, you know, always been sort of.
I had that. I kind of turned into that.
Yeah.
I was kind of a hippie kid when I was 13 and 14.
Was it after you quit doing drugs and stuff?
No, it was the moment I started selling them.
Oh. The moment you started selling them?
Yeah.
Oh.
I knew when I took that step, everything was going to change and it was going to suck. But my addiction just screamed for more than I had, and that was the easiest way out.
Oh.
And the moment I started doing that, I became everything I didn't want to be.
Of course. All the, you know, moral standards go down the drain.
Yeah, and it stopped being a cool thing you did with your friends, and it started to be a job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it kind of took the only thing that I really wanted away from me and made it into something else.
I sort of, you know, I used to drink a lot, and the band or the touring became more of a just, we can be drunk the whole time. It's going to be party for a month, or, and now it's completely opposite. It's weird. You embrace just being abroad. You're in a city with your friends. There's people showing up. You can have eye contact. You can talk to them after the show. Nothing of that. We didn't think about anything of that. So it's the complete opposite world.
It really is, and I can imagine it's getting all the rewards now, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because the partying doesn't leave much after the party is done.
It's not really a party, man. Just being isolated. No, it's not really like that.
Yeah, it's a different lifestyle. Yeah. And somebody told me you were into horses. Is that correct?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
My dad has horses.
Okay.
And I've had them for the last 25 years. So I didn't really grow up with my dad being into horses, but he has today.
Okay.
I think last year I went out riding more than I've done in my whole entire life. So I always said to myself that I will go into horse riding when I'm old, when I'm grown up. Well, I'll turn 43 this year. I'll have my first kid in 3 months. So maybe I'm almost turning into a grown-up. Maybe almost.
Maybe.
Yeah. So maybe I'm close to being into horse riding.
Okay.
But I'm grateful that my dad has it, so I can do it a few times a year. I have my boots in the stables and my jacket, and I like it's a very romantic thing about just putting the cowboy boots on. My dad makes fun of me. No one wears cowboy boots on I'm riding a horse. Why would you not wear a cowboy boots? Well, they forced me to wear a helmet. It kind of kills the whole romantic image. A gun. I would rather have no helmet and a couple of guns. But that's very childish. But then again, riding a horse, I go horse riding with my brother and my dad. Being here, I'm not going to say forest because there's a few trees, close to this table. Maybe riding over a river, or it's like playing cowboys and Indians.
Mm-hmm.
And you step off the horse, let it eat a bit. It's like you're in nature with your dad and your brother. It's amazing.
It is.
Oh.
I have that. I ride enduro bikes, and I found when I was young it was all about the bike.
Yeah.
Now, the bike isn't that important. It's going with your friends,
exactly.
Going out in nature, stopping, taking a look at the scenery, and just being.
Same with, I didn't, as a kid, I would go skateboarding every day. Then later on, I would go snowboarding every day. I didn't go snowboarding for like 15 years. I was busy doing other things. But a few years ago, I started snowboarding again. But I have to be careful. I'm an old man with a bad back. But I was in Siglufjörður last year with a trip with friends of Bill W.
Okay.
And it was just mesmerizing. I mean, being I was just having my phone recording stuff because I had to share this. Being in a mountain on the Thursday and Friday, it was terrible weather, and then the last day, it was like a half a meter, almost like a meter, of fresh powder all over the damn mountain, and I had never seen so much powder snow in my whole life. It was when you're riding a snowboard on a mountain, the sun is there, it's clear sky. It's just nothing comes close to it. Mm-hmm. And being in this stage in life when you appreciate things more. When at the age of 20, it was like
yeah.
But now, I mean, going snowboarding maybe once, twice a year and getting a day like that, I mean, I would have paid like 7 guitars for the day. And I only have 14. So.
Half of your guitars.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I got a few bad ones.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the same with me when I go out riding. I do it maybe 5 times a year now.
Oh. So 5 times a year. I mean, I think I went snowboarding 2-3 times last year. It's not a lot, 5 times. Mm-hmm. So, and for example, that you're not going to go 25-30 times. So it becomes more sort of gratifying. Oh my God. Yeah. It's a great day today. I'm going to go snowboarding, or whatever you're going to do. It's,
it's necessary. Have things you love to do.
You don't think about this as you're younger.
Nope, you don't.
Not at all.
No, it's cool doing those things, but it's a different thing.
Yeah.
You do it more to be cool than to enjoy it, maybe.
It's the weirdest thing is that everything I thought was cool when I was 25, it's not so cool anymore. It's so weird.
Yeah, it is.
And everything I thought was lame back then, it's very sexy.
Yeah,
that's so weird.
I think it's called growth.
It's a boring word, still. But it's weird, I had so distorted image of what is truly cool in life. Mm-hmm. It's so weird. I can talk about that for a week constantly, and you probably as well. So
I think so, yes.
Oh.
Yeah. So, is there anything you want to say?
No, I'm usually a talker, so I talk a lot. I probably talk the most in the band. So,
so you're the talker in the band.
Yeah, I do the interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
And I probably talk the most in the band.
Yeah, I want to come into that because we cheated a little bit because we talked a lot before we actually hit record on this thing.
I have an idea.
Your videos.
Videos? Oh yeah, the videos.
Your music videos.
Oh yeah.
How fucking cool are they?
pretty cool. It's pretty difficult because we've really early on in the videos we put up a really high standard. So it's like, well, the first proper one we did, really cool one was of course the Fjara. We had done Love Is the Devil before and some other stuff, but sort of the Fjara was the first sort of big production one. That was with our friend Bowen. Bowen is an American guy.
Okay. The most beautiful spot in Iceland, I think. I'm from there.
Of course. Of course. Well, it was a bitch in the morning carrying a 100-kilo wet coffin, custom made by our carpenter friend Mattias in Akureyri, carrying it up the stairs at 9 in the morning before the tourists arrived. But the weirdest thing is, this is in 2012. Album comes out in 2012, I think. The usage of drones was not common back then.
Okay, it was a new thing.
It was pretty much a new thing. So there's no drones used in the Fjara video.
Okay.
Now everybody it's like lighting a cigarette. So a little bit weird that it's kind of old school. It's very much cinema stuff, and but Bowen is the master of this. It's his vision.
Yeah. And
the whole band were a lot hands-on.
Okay.
Doing stuff. So everybody worked a lot together doing it. And same with the next one, we would do. Well, Fjara was shot on the south coast, mostly. Then we did the next one with Bowen, Lánetti. We did it in Strandir, Hólmavik. And then we did another one with Bowen now. It's just done in Reykjanes. We just like doing cool videos. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's goofing around with your friends, and then again, when you do videos, it's sort of have to keep up the standard. It gets, what do we want to do next? We've burned the piano. We've thrown a coffin down Skógafoss. Shouldn't be saying it. It's probably illegal. We've done lots of stuff. So, and we're not a big budget band.
No.
So making a video that looks like $1 million, not by spending $1 million. That's sort of the aim. And yeah,
it's probably a lot of work. It's funny what you said also about before the tourists came, because I grew up there in that exact spot in Reynisfjara.
Yeah.
I used to go there during the day, and I was the only motherfucker there.
Yeah.
Nobody cared.
Yeah.
Now they have like 30, 40 buses per day checking that out.
We're like Thailand of the north.
It's amazing how things have changed.
Yeah. It's weird. Yeah, we would go there 9 in the morning before. There were a few tourists that had arrived.
Yeah.
But doing a video there now, I don't think you could do it.
You definitely couldn't, because 9 o'clock it's on.
Yeah, we aimed to be there before the tourists, and they were there around 10, 11, but we had a sort of, and they were all, of course, dressed in pink and orange and green, and like, you're throwing the shots.
Yeah. We made it happen, though.
Yeah, I really don't want to talk more about that, so it could get us into trouble. But
okay. Let's not go there. Yeah.
Apart from that, it's just, thanks for having me. So.
But it's been awesome having you. It's been nice to have a chat with you and getting to know you a little bit.
Cool, man.
And it's funny how Iceland works. We know a lot of the same people.
Of course. It's always like that. Yeah. Like you said, in Hallgrímur, me and Hallgrímur were in school together 10 years ago. We had never met before, but we shared tons of mutual friends. So we've been at the same concerts. I've never met you before. That's weird. It's classic Iceland.
Yeah, classic Iceland. Yeah. Thanks a bunch.
Yeah.
It's been lovely having you, man.
Cool, man.
Cool.